I'm back. Okay, I am not glitchy on my side. Say hi. I lost so many of you guys. I hope you'll come back. I hope you're coming back. I'll wait a second for you. So sorry about that. I had to restart my computer and everything. So say hi. Tell me you're with me. I'm so sorry about the technical challenges, but I am so excited about today's conversation and today's dialogue. So those of you who are live with me, please comment, please interact, ask me questions, share your thoughts here. And then, of course, those for the replay later, make sure that you tell me what you're getting out of these conversations. This one for me is, like I said, it is near and dear to my heart because it is something that in my big jumps in Mary Kay, and I'm really just talking about two of them. It's the magic of setting a goal that you just can't lose. It is a unfailable goal. Hi, Maria. And I think that that is so intriguing, for, especially, I think it's intriguing for everybody, but especially those of us who are in Mary Kay where it's just constant. What's your goal? What's your goal? What's your goal? What's your goal? And I am extremely goal oriented. So I'm not saying don't set goals. I'm saying set powerful goals and set goals that make a difference and set goals that are winnable and that like guaranteed to win, guys. Don't you love that? Like, aren't you sick of falling short of a goal that you set every year because it's July 2nd and it's our new year and people are going to be asking, what's your goal? What's your goal? What's your goal? So guys, let's learn how to set a goal that is unfailable. Are you ready? So here's the key. I hope you're taking notes because we got things to share. Here is the key to setting a goal that you can't possibly fail at. And that is to set a goal and put it a business goal and attach it to a personal goal. A business goal and attach it to a personal goal. So this is not, I want to be a sales director. This is not, I want to be a top trip director. This is not, I want to be a national sales director. This is, I want this because of this. And it's the because that is so important. When you attach something together like that, when it's a personal goal, that will get you up in the morning. Just the shiny trinkets and the diamonds and the tiaras and look. The diamonds and the tiaras and the status and the title, all of those things are fantastic. I love all of them. But sometimes they don't get your feet to the floor and they don't get you running, especially if you've noticed you've set the same goal over and over and over again, and it's still not getting traction. You got to figure out why. And I'm going to tell you what I think is the why. It's because it's not attached to a personal goal. So we're going to dig into how to do this. And so when I was telling you the two big moments and big years that I've had, the quantum leaps and the times that I felt the most peaceful and most harmonious, because I think you can do it all at the same time. Peaceful is not doing anything, guys. It's doing the right things and a lot of them, especially when you're a business owner. But the first time we did million, that was 2016. I did not set the year. So if you were talking to me back then in 2016 on July 2nd, I did not have the goal to be $1 million sales director. I had the deep, and I do mean deep yearning and desire to live in a different house. And I put a house, I mean, since I was a little girl, I want the big house. I want the grandness. I want people to, when they roll up to my house, go, dang, this is a fantastic house. And I love decorating, and we love remodels, and we do all the stuff ourselves. Like we love that in our family, Frank and I. And I have had a big house, my dream house, on my goal poster for years and years and years. And here's the thing about my fantastic husband. My fantastic husband does not care at all. So that's my dream. That is not his dream. And so when he's like, okay, well, I know he'd have been buried in the backyard of the first house we lived in together. He does not care. I think he cares a little bit more now, but really it's not his thing. And so he told me, he's like, okay, if you want a different house, if you want something grand, if you want all of these things that you're saying, then produce. then you're the one that's going to change the income level of the family. And so I think it's really important that the powerful people in your life, the people that have a powerful, um, uh, like I'm trying to think of the word, I'm brain dead. A powerful, oh my gosh, somebody help me with the word, like kind of not intention. Oh my gosh, perimenopause people. Gosh, influence. Oh my gosh, a powerful influence on your life. Those people need to hold your feet to the fire. If you want something, you work for something. And you've been gifted a business. Thank you, Lainey. Jiminy Christmas. You've been given a business to work. You never, by the way, guys, never ever get to say I can't afford that ever. And you better never say it around me because I won't listen to it. I won't tolerate it. You can say I'm choosing not to work for that right now. Totally valid. It's not a priority for me. Totally valid. But you never get to say I can't afford it. I don't have money for that because you have a business in the palm of your hands that makes a great deal of money at your fingertips. At your fingertips. So and we're going to talk about money a lot here in these next few minutes. So attaching this business goal to a personal goal, I wanted that house and I knew that that income needed to be on me. And so it was the first time in my whole life I did a budget on an Excel spreadsheet like a grown up. And I was like, okay, this is how much credit card debt I have. This is how much I need for a down payment. This is my total. How much more, because I needed my money, my income for our expenses, mortgage payment, groceries, like all those things, just like everybody else does. So I needed to produce X amount of money in addition to my regular income. And so what I did was what you need to know, guys, you need to know how you make money in this business, and not just one way, multiple ways of making money. You know, we hear a lot right now that we need multiple streams of income. I totally agree. You got multiple streams of income in this one business, and you have to utilize all those streams of income or you're just leaving money on the table. And so I knew I couldn't afford to leave money on the table and I had to utilize everything. So in the column of sales, I needed to increase by this much. In the column of team building, I knew I needed to increase this much. And then for me, like if you're a director, having offspring directors, that's a third stream of income. I needed to increase by this much. And so I knew what I needed to do in all those three areas to bring up my income each month. And so do you know how to increase your income? Not just sell more. That is not a strategy. Sell more is not a strategy. Do you actually know how to generate income? Because if you don't know, then you won't do it. And if it's always just sell more or do more or have more parties, those are not actual numbers. That's not an actual strategy. That is just hope thrown into the wind. So know exactly what you need to do. So I knew my plan and I went to town, and I was paying off debt like you wouldn't believe. I was siphoning money in my checking account like you wouldn't believe. It was addictive and it was awesome. And I came about January, so about 6 months into it, about January, I was like, whoa, like we're on target for something we've never been on target for. Now, I've never actually been on target for anything I've actually hit. So I wasn't on target for a million, but I was on target for more than we'd ever done before. And so it started to like, wait, if I keep doing this, if I keep with my strategy, which was grow my customer base, grow my team, grow my offspring, and I had very clear, defined goals through those three things, we could do million. And so when we finished million, the day after, July 1st, 2016, Frank and I went looking at houses. And I had set that up with my cousin, who's my real estate agent. I knew the houses we were going to go look at. I knew I knew the budget. I knew all of those things because I had worked so hard for it that year that I knew July 1st, we were doing that. And we did. You know, the really cool thing about that is that we finished million at the same time, because I attached a personal goal to a business goal. That goal of a new house got me out of bed when things were hard, when people wouldn't call me back, when the rejection was high, when my emotional roller coaster was going up and down and up and down. That goal stays the same. And That's the key, guys. Setting the personal goal to a business goal. It's what makes you the highs not so high and the lows not so low. And the emotional nuttiness of being an entrepreneur, it just levels it off. You just know that money's going here. You're earning money, and if it's not earning it the way that over here, you can move over here because you've got multiple streams of income to pull from. So the common denominator I really want to get into today, guys, is money. As a sales force, as a sales force, as a woman, we need to make more money, right? We need desperately to make more money. So I attached this goal this year, this Queen of Sharing goal, and I won't know that I hit it for a while, for a couple weeks. It doesn't matter at all. I mean, like, it's going to be great if I get to sit on a throne and wear a tiara on stage. Like, heck yeah, that's going to be fantastic. That's not what got me up in the morning. That's not what set my soul on fire. What set my soul on fire was I told myself at the beginning of the year that I was going to give myself a $25,000 pay raise this year. My family needs it. My household needs it. My decorating budget needs it. I need that income. And I am not allowed to say I can't afford that, right? So how are we going to do that? And so my goal this year was to increase my income by $2,000 every month. That was my goal. And I attached it to being queen because that was fun. That was exciting. That was big. I've never done it before, but I attached it to something that meant something to me. So why do you want to be a sales director? Not the why you want to be a sales director, but attach it. How much money are you going to make as a sales director? How much influence are you going to have as a sales director? How much savings account can you build? College fund for your kids? Whatever it is, it's got to attach at the same thing. So I believe that money is the common denominator. Now, you may not have a decorating budget that needs an influx like I do, but how can money help you? What do you want out of life? So ask yourself real quick, write it down. What do you want out of life? Because the probability, unless you said go to heaven, which I agree, is money can probably help what you want out of life, or it can help somebody else get what they want out of life. There's a strong money is not everything. Choices, Lainey. Yes, choices, freedom, flexibility, choices. Money is not everything. It is not an idol. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about women don't have enough money, and you certainly can't have the life of your dreams if you don't have a flush checking account. If you don't have money that is not tied to something already, you've got to have extra income. Okay, when you take money, because I've heard a lot of times in my 21 years, Mary Kay, well, we shouldn't run this business for money. Hello, business and money. Yeah, we should. Or women aren't motivated by money. We may not be motivated by money per se, but I guarantee we're motivated by what money can do. And so you have to get down to what can money do for me right now that I'm stressing about, that I'm hoping for, that I'm dreaming for, that I'm praying for. What can money do for any of those questions and any of those answers? So we have to attach it. What is this money going to do? And attach it to whatever the goal is in Mary Kay. But like I said, when you take the money out of this business, it becomes a volunteer business. And so you're volunteering your time. You have a hobby. And if that's okay with you, you're probably not on this YouTube. Let's just be honest. If you're listening to this, you probably want a little bit more or a whole heck of a lot more. You probably don't want to be running a hobby and running a volunteer organization. That's my guess. So, Mary Kay Ash, did you guys know this? That Mary Kay Ash, one of her dying questions, I don't know if it was actually on her deathbed, but it was near the end of her life. She asked a national sales director, one of her daughters, as she called them, she asked, are my girls making money? Are my girls making money? Because that woman who founded this company, who is incredibly brilliant, incredibly servant-hearted, incredibly wonderful, changed so many of our lives. Her question is, and the reason she founded this business was for women to make money. Are we? Would she be proud of what we're doing? So if you like this part of this, when you really dig into making money, making more money, making significant money, whatever is significant to you, is I guarantee your team building will go up. It will increase vastly because where you probably, if you're not making a lot of money, you're not feeling a little confident. And if you're not feeling confident, you tend to not share this opportunity because you're like, well, I'm not really making the money that I want to, so they probably won't either. That'll be a limiting belief possibly that you have. If you're making a whole bunch of money, you can't stop from talking about this because there you go, Melody. Yeah, we need to dig deeper into that. Why freedom? Why flexibility? That's got to go just a little bit more into that. So if your recruiting is low and your team building isn't on fire, and you're just not like with gusto sharing about this business and how they can do the same thing, you're not leading by example. And that's the only true form of leadership in Mary Kay's her opinion. And I agree with that. So that's why I get to share that. So how is your team building? How is your belief? How is your income? And what could be changed by a flush checking account? Because I know my recruiting is better. My passion for this company is better. My belief in this company is higher. I'm a better wife. I'm a better friend. I'm certainly a better sales director. I'm a better recruiter. I'm a better consultant. I'm a better everything when I've got extra money coming through the business, and it's in my checking account where it belongs so that it can be spent in lots of other places to make my house really cute. Okay, now I want you to hear this because you're going to die. Are you ready? So here's some stats. This is what the lack of money is doing to women. 65% of women report that personal finances are a top source of stress. So the number one thing that they're stressed about is money. 65% of women. 34% describe their financial stress as extreme. And men they're only 24%. We hold it higher for a lot of different reasons. You can Google or ask ChatGPT, all of those, but it is true that we are extremely stressed. 51% of women say money negatively affects their mental health. Wow. More than half the women in the United States, their mental health is affected by lack of money. 40% of women feel high stress regarding household income, vastly higher than men. Okay, listen to this. 57% of couples say that financial uncertainty harms their relationship. Your marriage is being affected because you don't have enough money. 59% of divorces involve finances as part of the problem. Guys, your marriage is dependent on income coming into your household. Like, what are we doing with our lives over here? 47% of parents report anxiety about not having enough money to support their family. 60% report sleepless nights, and 40% feel physically ill. Guys, this is huge. And then I'll leave you with this one. This is crazy. Gen Z and millennials, so our youngest ones coming up, have higher stress about money than any other generation. So guys, this ain't going away. This is a problem. It's not a problem for my Gen X generation. It's not a problem for boomers. It's a problem for everybody, but it's the younger ones that are going to get hit even harder with that. Is that okay with you? Or do we have an opportunity in our hands that can change it for ourselves, and it can change it for the generations after us? That's where I get real passionate about. This is why I'm here. I'm here to change lives. I'm here to change lives. And if I can help people make money so they can sleep at night, so they don't get divorced, guys, I'm feeling some passion here. Okay. And so that's a lot. Like, that kind of stressed me out when I read that. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, the women in this world are just sort of a mess. Here, let me give you this nugget. Those people, and like the world is crazy, right? Can we attest that the world is crazy with politics and economy and housing market and mortgage rates and the price of groceries? There's a lot going on out there, and everybody's yelling about it all day long on social media. But those people, you guys, who can navigate uncertainty the best, which I would say what we're living in right now is pretty uncertain, they will be the most successful. So it's the people that navigate uncertainty the best that are most successful. So if we're uncertain, the world is uncertain, so everything's crazy. They keep taking away eyeshadow. If everything's uncertain, those who can navigate it the best are going to be the most successful. So how are we going to set this unfailable goal? The way to set your goals is vital. So I'm going to give you five different strategies on how to set this goal. Because this goal, Melody, so kind of dig in here with me. The goal of like what you want this to be, that this is going to be your business goal. Okay. Let's set a goal that is fun. It is key. It is key. It's not because my fun national area is my name. It's not because my unit is the Happies. I absolutely believe in anything to be fun, but it's a proven fact that if what you're doing is fun, you'll do it longer and you'll do it harder and you'll be more consistent at it. That's working out. That's business. That's all of those things. So is your goal going to be fun? That's what I thought the queen goal could be so fun, because I'm like, well, I've never done it before. And I'm somebody who loves a challenge, just love doing. I'm not somebody who like does a whole bunch of challenges more than once. I like to do things one time. I swam Alcatraz one time. I ran a marathon one time. I did bungee jumping in a blizzard in Canada one time. Like I love to do things one time. So I knew I needed to do something that I'd never done before, because that's the way I'm wired. So I've never been number one of anything before. Well, that sounds fun. That sounds fun. What can you put down as that sounds fun? And it can be silly. I mean, and so for me, putting my this tiara that my wonderful friend Heather Faring sent me, and going to feed the turtle and watering my flowers, like, and taking pictures of it, that was fun to me. Like, that's silly. I don't know of anybody else who's ever done that. I tried to make it my own. I made it unique for me. Sounds fun. So what is fun to you? Okay, another one is set a goal that you have control over. So setting a goal that involves your other people having to do something is probably not where I would go. You need something that you have a lot of control over. Like, I couldn't set a goal that all of my offspring did million, because I have no control over that goal. So that's not a good goal for me. So make sure you have actual control over it. And you feel like you have control. I think you guys have a lot more control. We all guys have a lot more control than we think we do. So make sure, run that past your mentor. Do I have control over this goal? Maybe you're missing some things that you're like, well, like, I would love to be a sales director, but I don't have control over what those people do. Yes, you do. You don't have control over what those people do. You have control over what you do to get more people to hit the goal. Like that's how you have control over something that maybe feels like you don't have control. You don't have control over a tiny, like, getting 5 people to do something. You don't have any control over that. You have control over what 50 people are doing to get 30 of them to do something. Like, that's what you have control over. You have control over to play the odds and to play the numbers. That's what you got. Okay. The next one is that it's relevant to your current business. This goal needs to be relevant to your current business. So and this is something that my coach taught me a long time ago, is go where God is working in your business. You can ask him to meet you, but he's probably already working. So of course he's working somewhere in your business. Go meet him. So that was part of my queen goal, and part of my unit goal when I did million, is that I saw where God was working. I felt the fun where God was working. I could see him moving where that. So I met him there. I didn't set a goal for what my offspring what was going to do. That's not, in building offspring this year, because that's not where God was working at the current moment. I hope he's working there this year. That would be fantastic, but that's not what was going on. So be really honest about your business. Where is he working? Where do you see him showing up? Is it relevant to your current business? Okay. There's number 4. Where does my business need the infusion? So what you need to do is find the lowest common denominator, because that's the one that you can start infusing. So like if you want to be a sales director, let's just take that as an example. You have to figure out what you have control over and go to the lowest common denominator. So if you've got 50 people on your team and you're not a sales director yet, okay, then the infusion needs to be helping those 50 get more personal product, find more skincare customers, maybe do a couple parties. Like you've got the people, now you need to make them deeper. Well, if you want to be a sales director and you have no team members, then what's the lowest common denominator? Recruit somebody. Let's go lower than that. What do you have to do to recruit somebody? Well, you have to share with them the marketing plan and you need to layer them. Okay, well, I have 5 people to layer. Not enough. So what's lower than that? I need to do faces and parties. I need to get product on people's faces. Okay, well, I have 100 people that I can ask. Great. That's the place that you start. Or I have 2 people I can ask. Nope. Back it up again. I need leads. I need to generate leads. So you just have to go as low and as back as possible to find out where the infusion needs to be. Because once again, it has to be relevant to your current business. If you don't have 50 customers on skincare, then we can't talk about being a sales director. We need more customers. We need more solid, beautiful, amazing customers in order to do the work, in order to find the right people that want to do this business. Or else you're going to be trying to squeeze blood from a turnip. And just so you know, turnips don't have blood. It's going to be a long road. Go where that least common denominator and infuse. And so with my goal this year of Queen, I know a lot of people. I've lead generated a lot of years. I have a lot of customers, but I knew that I needed to go to a different place. I needed to go hold parties. I needed to get more samples out. I needed to get people to try more product. That's what I did. And spoiler alert, I've never done this level of activity in my recruiting life in 21 years. I also had never done so much sales in my 21 years. It is by far my personal best year because I attached a personal goal to a business goal. And because I started with, I gotta get more product on people's faces, my sales went up and my team members went up. That's the best part about this business. Okay. And then my last quick question for you on this, how to set a goal, is how can I make money? Is this a goal that I can make money with? And it's 2-part. You're going to have immediate income. There's a lot of places we can get immediate income. There's also foundational income. Where's the residual income going to come from? So you want both. You want immediate and you want it to make sure that it builds up to residual. And residual is going to be reorder customer base and team members. Those are your residual incomes. That's your foundation of your business, or those 2 things. So immediate income is faces, parties, reorders, your current team members, like that. That's all immediate income, but it leads to residual income. And so you got to start here. You got to give the impact over here, and then it will start adding up over here. Okay. So we're making it fun. We're having control over it. And guys, spoiler alert, it's always faces and parties. There's no magic beans. Jack and the beanstalk did not come over here, and the fairy godmother did not sprinkle. It's faces and parties. There is no other answer. Now, the creative part is, how do I want to do the faces and parties? Because there ain't no rules no more, man. It's like a wild, wild west out here. You can do messenger parties. You can send samples. You can do FaceTime. You can do Skin Analyzer app. You can do whatever you want to do. There's so many different ways to do it. from this beautiful little device, from the comfort of your own home on your own schedule, but it has to be faces and parties. That's the part that does not change. Okay, you're going to pick the goal that is relevant to your business. How can you start momentum? Where's the least common denominator? Where's the infusion? And then where am I going to make money immediately? And how is that going to relate to money foundationally? So like, let's take a vendor booth as an example. So I was recruited at a vendor booth. So I love them. And I love my consultants to do them. I think they're incredible. But you have to be very conscious of, if you get somebody that wants to buy from you and they jump on your website and they order product because they met you or they text you or whatever, that's immediate income, correct? Yes, that's great. But your challenge is now, how do I build a relationship with her, a connection with her, and to get her to be a foundational piece? Just because they bought from you once does not automatically make her a foundational income driver for you. So your job is the first time, and this goes for messenger parties, this goes for random people that buy on your website. This right here is, you've got to turn her into this foundational piece with relationships and connections. And you got to do it quick. Like, that's my new thing that I'm really going to work on in this next month or so, is doing it myself, because I had a lot of new influx of customers that have found me on social media primarily. And that's great. And I love it. But I got to make them a foundational piece. So I have got to make sure I'm investing in my relationships and investing in the connections with people. So you've got to do the same thing. If you're meeting people at vendor events, social media, website, referrals, any of those, you got to make sure you're tying them together, tying them to you very quickly. And social media is just a great way to do that, because it really does. People act like they think they know you, because if you're doing lives, if you're doing videos, that's not just about a social media algorithm. That's about connection. That's about, like, you want people to, like, people always come up to me at events and stuff and go, I feel like I know you. And I'm like, that's the point. You should feel like you know me, because that binds you to me. And that is what you want as a business owner. And that is what social media is really about. Okay. So I'm trying to think what else I want to share with you guys, because I don't want to go over too much. So let me just give you a little synopsis here of what this goal did for me. Like I said, I, of course, want to be on that throne. I, of course, want to be on that stage. Of course. But I already won. I am undisappointable by this, because my true goal was to generate $2,000 worth of income every month, right? Well, this is what happened. My unit produced 110,000 more retail just in that queen goal for me. $20,000 more in commissions, so just the commissions as a sales director. I got $8,000 in recruiting bonuses. This is cool. My sales increased $20,000 over the majority of my years. And so I have an additional $10,000 in profit. So my pay raise this year was like 38, I think like 38. I didn't add it all up. $38,000 more this year than last year. And that's over $3,000 a month. That's why this goal is unfailable. That's why. That's why it doesn't matter what happens on the throne or on a stage or at seminar, is I've already won. Wouldn't you love that feeling of win, lose, or draw, you already won? That's going to be, and so that million, like that had to happen, but it wasn't the main driving point. The income was. And so they were really attached. So a million happened, and so queen is weird because I have no control over it. Like, I would not recommend setting a goal of queen be in this arena, because you have no control. You have no idea. You're shooting blind, shooting from the hip. But if you can make it so where, like, a sales director, that's not shooting blind. You know exactly what you have to do, and you're not competing against anybody else. It is just that. And that can absolutely hit income. And you go for that income, you drive that income, you are going to win. and you're going to win for your family, and you're going to have a beautiful title and all the fun stuff. But like, you're going to walk into seminar as a director and you already know that you won at a very, very different level than somebody who just like crammed it together. You're going to have such a feeling of peace and fun and winning all at the same time. Doesn't that sound great? So this is how you set a goal that you cannot lose, is when you attach it personal to business, having fun doing it, and you're not doing it out of greed, and you're not going to penny pinch, and you're not going to see people as dollar signs. They are not. That is, if you, please do not get that from me. That is not what we're doing here. That is not a servant business. That's not what we're doing. But you are just tracking it, and you know what the payoff is going to be. So it makes you work harder and invest more in people and become more others focused, because you know that that is going to move it. And I think Mary Kay Ash was such a genius, because she knew that if you attached people with money, that they both work. It's not, they don't compete against each other. It can really, truly be a business that brings you both. So I hope this is helpful. I hope that you will go through the breaking down of making it fun. What do you have control over? Where is God working? How do you start momentum? Where is the infusion? Where do you make money? And then find your perfect personal goal. Make sure that it's yours. Make sure that it's not what somebody else said. It's not what you should do. It's not what's been on your goal poster for 10 years. Scrap it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. It only matters what you want. Is it silly? Cool. I love it when it's silly. Is it stupid? Yes. Give it to me. Is it weird and quirky? I'm in. Like, I want to know what the crazy thing that just feels like in your gut and in your soul that you're like, I want that. I want that. That sounds fun. That sounds so fun. Lainey, beat your best. I love to beat your best. Here is a tip to beat your best this year. Don't beat the year, beat the month. So what'd you do last July? Beat last July. Next month, what'd you do last August? Beat last August. That's how you beat the year, is you beat the months. And it's the way that I've always tracked it, because I get like, oh my gosh, you want me to do more? Like, like that kind of feels freaky to me sometimes. It feels so big. And then, you get 3 months in and you're like, oh, now I'm behind. Now I quit. Beat the months. What's in front of you? What'd you do last July? And how are you going to beat it? That's how I set my goal this morning, what I want my unit to do. I looked at what they did last year, and I increased it by the percentage I want to increase the total year. So if I want to increase 15%, so let's just say that you sold $2,000 last year and you wholesaled $1,000. Let's just say, because I like the numbers. Let me get my calculator out. And you want to increase by 15%, because you know that that's going to put you on the National Court of Sales. I'm just throwing out stuff right now. National Court of Sales, diamond ring, stage, because you want to send your kids to college and you want to put $20,000 in their college fund. So we know that we're going to be on the National Court of Sales, and we know that we're going to increase by 15%. So if you wholesaled 1,000 last year, then I should know that math. Then you need to wholesale 1,500 this year. Is that right? That's not right. That's like 75%. Anyway, doesn't matter. So increase whatever you need to do it month by month. That way the months don't get away from you and the year doesn't get away from you. And it keeps I think one of the things that I do really well, if this can help you, is always try to make something big small. What's big and overwhelming and confusing and too complicated, make it small. What can I do this month, today, this week, that I know for certain it will make a difference in the long run? That's what I want to do. And then you just go to town. You zero in on making it small and getting out of your head. Stop with the overthinking. Like, if you know that you're an overthinker and you know that this is a problem for you and you just tend to marinate, guys, just stop. Like, you got to have enough discipline in your mind to just go, okay, nope. Have you ever seen that movie with Kevin Costner, baseball movie, For the Love of the Game? and he would get on the pitcher's mound and he would go and he had all this noise and all the fans and all the pressure. And he would just go, clear the mechanism. And it just wiped his whole head. Clear the mechanism. So you have to clear the mechanism, or you will always be trapped in a loop of disappointment and failure and not reaching your goals, because overcomplicating everything is the surest way to not do it. So how can you make the big? How can you make it small? How can you make it small? What do I need to do right now, this month? Okay, the only thing I need to do, the only thing I need to focus on to send my kids to college is to wholesale $1,500 this month. Like, that's how you make something big small. $1,500. Okay, what do I have to do to sell $3,000? Okay, I know my customers will order 1,000 because they usually do. And then, so how am I going to sell $2,000? Well, I usually do $100 a face. I need to do 20 faces. Okay, 20 faces. That's what I need to do. Okay, so how am I going to do it? In person or virtual? Virtual. Okay, then who are my people I'm going to talk to? Like, just track it all the way down till it gets real quiet. The mechanism gets real clear, and you know I got to do 20 faces. I have to do 20 faces in a month in order to send my kids to college. Just this month. Okay, who's my first face? It makes it peaceful. It makes it simple. That's what I want you to do. Okay, let me look at these comments, see if there's anything I need to get at. Shells, I love it. Personal goal attached to a business goal. I can't wait to hear what that is. I want it to mean something to you. And that's, like, get the people out of your head that you want it to sound pretty to somebody else. Shoot. My husband thinks it's really fun when I come up with the most wacky things. Like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. He's like, cool. Because he knows the weirder it is and the more outlandish or off the wall or something that nobody's ever thought of or done before, those are the things that are exciting to me. And that means I really put thought into it. But just doing what everybody else is doing ain't gonna get it. Doing what you've always done is not gonna get it. So I can't wait to hear from you guys. I'm so excited. Thank you, live girls, for joining me. I can't wait to see the rest of you guys in the comment section. Make sure that you comment, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and share this video with other people in your unit, on your team, your director, whoever it is. Share this in your Facebook groups. Thank you, Patty. Share me, because that's what this is for, is just a resource to help the sales force, because I want to be better as a sales force, as a company. I want to do things we've never done before. I want to be the ones that make it out of uncertainty. I want to be the successful ones, and I want to help you guys do that with me. So, okay. Love you guys so much. Can't wait to see what you come up with. You are welcome to shoot me a message, and I will be your hype girl for sure. Have a great one. Happy New Year.